going to talk about decision making in Chromium. So why are we talking about this? So in BlinkOn 11, Rick asked us, which values do we consider important in our work in the Chromium community? And here is how we responded. 81%, sorry.
Yeah.
Someone had a question?
What? For real?
I'm going to mute Daniel. Can I? Okay, sorry about that. So 81% of us felt like this was a value that we considered super important. We either strongly agreed, or thought this value outweighs almost everything else. So we wanted to review the decision-making processes in Chromium to ensure that we are as transparent as we can be and take action wherever needed. As you all probably know, API owners are the only required gate for the Blink launch process. So we started there. So we're looking at what's working well and what we would like to improve. A couple of things that I want to note here. All the discussions and decisions for API owners are made in a public forum. We did document the values that the API owners used to make these decisions. A couple of years back, we also added membership criteria and nomination guidelines for API owners. So if this is something that you see yourself doing, then you should be able to see a path towards that. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me and I can connect you to the right folks. We also like that this is not a Googler-only forum. We strongly believe that different perspectives do help us make better decisions in this area. What are we trying to improve? We realized that we talk about API owners as being a required gate, but we don't really say what this body is. Is it a decision-making forum? Are they process police? Are they technical architects? So we want to do a little bit better about explaining the role and responsibilities of API owners, how they make decisions. So we do talk about the values, we've documented those, but I think we can all agree that sometimes these values are in conflict with each other, or we prioritize certain constituencies. So we want to keep working on this. I don't think this is something we can work on for a couple of weeks and say it's done, but we want to keep reflecting our current thinking about these values. We also want to clarify what happens in corner cases, like what happens if API owners disagree with each other? Is the burden on the intent submitter to convince them? Whose responsibility is it to build consensus, etc.? Now, I cannot stress this enough that this is what we think is working well and what we think should be improved. But as it is with transparency, what's important is what all of you think. So in the discussion part of this talk, please let us know if you feel like something I've put in the left should actually be on the right and you don't agree. We should definitely talk more about that. So just consider these as conversation starters, not as facts. I also want to say that anything beyond Blink API owners is also in scope. So if you want to talk about other Chromium decisions like code reviews, ownership guidelines, and things like that, you can also ask questions about those, and you can provide us with feedback there as well. I did add a link to this survey in the description, and I got several case studies and questions from all of you. We're going to try and get through a few of those, or as many of those as possible, but I will leave the survey open till end of this week. So if you have more feedback, please continue to provide it. And I will summarize all the results and share it back on BlinkDev. Okay, so with that, we're going to jump into the discussion part here. As some of you requested, we're going to stop recording here.